This little boy painted the train signals red because he was going to hitch a ride. When a train came towards the boy rushed to the side and hid. Slowly the train stopped just as the boy had hoped. He pushed his luggage on board. Just as the boy was about to get on, he was spotted by the staff. The boy went straight under the train, but at that moment the train restarted. As the boy could not miss the train, he quickly climbed out at the risk of his life, but the crew are hot on his heels, so the boy climbs onto the conveyor belt.
Get up, man! Get up! Oh my God!
And so the boy climbs onto the train without incident. Soon the boy is following the train to the next station, but then the crew caught up with him. He rushes to hide in the caravan on the train. The crew looked inside. They found only 3 card people. But why did the card people have runny noses? Just as the boy was about to be exposed, the train was about to leave, and so the boy escaped. In the evening the boy was so hungry, so he gets a hot dog for his tummy. He met the staff looking for him. Luckily it was nighttime, and he couldn't see. No one paid any attention to him next to them. The next day the boy left the house. The next day the boy left the place, and the staff ran into him. The boy ran away. The staff member was in hot pursuit. When the gates under the bridge suddenly opened, the staff laughed at the boy behind him for not being able to get through. The boy jumped straight through. He grabbed the railing with both hands. The staff were getting anxious, so they encouraged the boy to climb up. The boy climbed up without any problems. The staff were relieved. The boy then made his way to the main road. He waved to the cars passing by. An old man stopped his car, and so the boy got a lift. He was given a lift to his final destination, Smith College. This is the most technologically advanced school in the world, and this little boy, only 10 years old, is here to receive his award. The boy's name is Spivey. He's the smartest kid I've ever met. He was studying insects with a microscope at the age of 6. At the age of 8, he was appreciated by a university professor. He was able to talk to him about it. Invented a perpetual motion machine at the age of 10. The most powerful technology in the world. Ranked number 1 by Smith College. At school, because the homework assigned by the teacher was too easy, so he wrote a paper on perpetual motion. The teacher said he didn't know what he was doing. Call your parents next week. Then he took out a magazine. It turned out that his paper had been selected. The teacher was furious and full of shit. But such a smart kid. But he's such a smart kid, and he's ignored by his family. His feelings and presence were ignored. It turns out that Spivey has a younger brother. One day, Spivey tried to experiment with a gun, and the gun went off. His brother was killed. The family said it was okay, but the family's silence about him says it all. That day Smith College called to tell Spivey, "You've won the highest science award." Spivey was so happy to share it with his father, but his father didn't care. He said it wasn't true, and to stop dreaming about it. So he came to see his mother, but it was the same. Spivey didn't get any attention. Instead, he got a cold shower. The next day Spivey found a goat trapped. He went to rescue it. Instead, he found a python at his feet. Spivey closed his eyes tightly. He thought that with him gone, his family might be happy. His father shot the python and took it away, but it also brought back memories, a reminder of that day. So that night he decided to collect his prize at Smith College on his own. After a long journey over the mountains, Spivey finally made it to Smith College. This is the most technologically advanced school in the world, and this little boy, only 10 years old, was here to receive an award. But when the headmaster saw Spivey, who was only 10 years old, he knew there was an opportunity, so he called the best of the best, that there was a child prodigy in his school. Soon the awards dinner began. It was all here to impress Spivey. Then Spivey spoke. He began by thanking the college for the opportunity he had been given. Then he expressed his purpose for being here. Spivey had accidentally killed his brother by mistake. He had been left out of his family. He came here just to find a window to vent his feelings, but what he didn't know was that his mother was watching from afar. As Spivey's reputation grew, the headmaster gave him a program of interviews. For the sake of the show, the presenter kept asking him about his inner pain. Spivey's mother was invited onto the show. The mother and son spoke from their hearts on stage. They hugged each other tightly. All the barriers between them were broken down at that moment. Then his mother took him to leave, but the headmaster blocked her from doing so. Then the mother slapped him across the face, and then the host, in order to keep the show going. And then the presenter rushed up again, only to be punched by Spivey's father. He was knocked to the ground, and that's the end of the film. This is not really a story of genius. It's not about the legendary life of a young scientist. It's just a family's escape from reality. The process of being accepted, even in the midst of an unpleasant past. It still has to be faced, because it's there. It's bound to affect our lives. How about saying goodbye to the past? Cherish the people around you and live your life to the fullest.